All right, good afternoon. It's, officially afternoon now. Welcome to the Aired Out Podcast, live from the ASB Financial Studios in Fly on the Wall Productions, Main Street, Barrie, the epicenter of Central Vermont. Nice to have you with us. We always, well, not always, but we try to say as frequently as possible that we follow by a little bit of a motto here that we like to be real, we like to be raw, we like to be relatable, relevant, and responsible. This is going to be one of those podcasts where it is especially raw, and it is with great pleasure that I bring back to the microphone, returning to Aired Out, is Brandy Tracy. Hi.
Hey, JD.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
The last time that I had you in here, you, frankly, when you left, Raylene and I were just, the wow factor was pretty high. It was a 10 out of 0 to 10. And just brought a whole new level of perspective and I guess kind of it made us just think a little broader about the grand scheme of things, and it had quite an impact on us. You lost your young son.
Mm-hmm. He was 14.
14 years old in Williamstown.
Yep.
To suicide.
Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was 2 years and about 4 months ago. It was May of 2020.
Okay. May of 2020. Wow. Right in the thick of COVID.
Yep.
Since then, you have really, and I think we said this the last time that I had you on the air, that it seems like there's two things that you can do as, I'm guessing, as a parent who loses a child to suicide. You can either tuck and run as fast as you can away from it, or you can run toward it, embrace it, and devote the rest of your life to bringing awareness and helping prevent what you've gone through for another parent.
Yeah. Or maybe a little bit of both, depending on the day. 'Cause
Right.
sometimes I definitely tuck tail and hide under the blankets, but
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. You have a strong presence in the community where, and I just saw you in Williamstown. You had a tent set up. You give away not only free preventative literature for people, but you also give away some handmade gifts in memory of Stephen Tracy.
Yeah. At the Back to School Bash, I volunteer for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So I have all the tabling supplies and all that stuff, and I'll go to different events and hand out information. And because it was a Back to School Bash with kiddos, we made Play-Doh and had our little Stephen cards on them to give out to kiddos.
Yeah. What a subject to talk about. I mean, we can all sit around and talk about anxiety and depression and bipolar disorder and traumatic brain injury and a whole long laundry list of other things. But suicide is just one of those subjects that it's never really comfortable to have a conversation about. And I find it very, I find it encouraging that there are people that are willing to have that discussion, and I find their bravery with being willing to not only discuss it, but also put it right out there, to wear a shirt, to hand out pamphlets of information, and even more so to sit and have a discussion about it. And what an uncomfortable conversation it must be, because I'm sure that there's people that think, well, I'm never going to take my life, so I don't really need to have this conversation, which you may not be entirely accurate if you're
and
thinking that way.
And you never know if someone you know or love could just hit a bad spot too. Like,
right.
You don't have to have depression or a mental health disorder to end up dying by suicide. Sometimes it's just one thing that pushes you over the edge. So you never know.
And trying to look for signs and can be, in some regard, can be impossible to see what those signs are. We're all masters of our craft, and some of us are masters of hiding our pain or redirecting our pain into other areas so that it's not detected.
Right. Yeah.
Because we want our own privacy, and we want to be able to deal with our own shit on our own terms, in our own way, and we don't need people coming in and poking us.
Right. And society doesn't really support that either. Like you said, we can talk about a lot of different things, but then you bring up suicide and people are like, oh, you just want attention, or, whatever it may be.
Sure.
So it can be hard to feel validated or like you're going to be taken seriously if you are struggling. Or you want to fight it, so you just keep busy and stuff it down. Right,
exactly. So here we are, Suicide Awareness Prevention Month and week in September, which is why we have you on Aired Out. Thanks to Raylene, the two of you get talking, and here you are. And the timing is impeccable. Because we have some stuff going on in Vermont, both statewide, but also we have some real local stuff that's pretty intense. So let's run down some of this in maybe a chronological order of what's happening.
Okay.
Here it is, the 9th of September.
And I didn't share with you, sorry, but
yeah.
So there are Out of Darkness walks coming up for American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. There are a couple that I didn't write down because I'm not involved with them, but there's one, I think tomorrow in Rutland is the first one.
Okay.
And then there's a couple others coming up in other areas. So
all right.
Those aren't on there.
Yeah. Vermont seems like that Vermont is embracing this pretty well.
Yeah.
So before we talk about the first, is the Wilkins ride, is that really the first item on the list?
Yep, that's the first thing. Yep.
Before we go there, let's throw some love and some recognition and tell the story about what's in front of you here with Stephen's squad.
So every year since Stephen passed away, this is the third year now, we've had shirts designed and sell them as a fundraiser because we have a team, Stephen's squad, for a walk for AFSP. And we sell them to sort of keep Stephen's memory alive and raise money for that. This year, we had an anonymous donor donate $1,000 to provide shirts for Williamstown students. So pre-K through 12, any kiddo who lives in Williamstown or goes to Williamstown school can get a free shirt from this donor. And I think that'll cover like between 80 and 100 shirts, depending on sizing and stuff. So that's really amazing and generous and shocking. And
Anonymous donor.
Anonymous donor. Yep.
That's really cool.
It is really cool. Super exciting.
Wow.
And I don't know. They probably can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we can.
It?
Of course we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to be dark blue shirts, navy maybe, and then they'll say Steven Squad. They had the tire tracks. We did that because Steven would be 16 this year and driving and probably raising hell on all the back roads.
Yes.
We did tire tracks and his name and this year on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great that all the kids at Williamstown School are going to have a chance to get a T-shirt and not have to scrounge up some cash for that.
Definitely. Send me a message.
Incredible.
I'll get you on the list.
Let's talk about this again. This is Suicide Awareness Prevention Month, and also week.
Yep.
Let's talk about the first thing coming up at locally Wilkins.
Yeah.
All right. What's happening?
So on Saturday the 17th at Wilkins Harley is it Southbury? Is that considered Southbury?
Yes. Yeah.
There is a suicide awareness ride. Bob Purvey from Burlington is putting this on, and he splits the money between AFSP and Project Hopner, which is a Burlington-based foundation, I guess. And let's see. It's starting. What time is it starting at?
I'm glancing at your notes here too. Coffee and donuts at 9.
9. Okay.
And then you'll have a speaker at 9:45.
That's me.
That's you.
And Bob.
Yeah. I would assume so.
And
And then kickstands up at it looks like 10 or 10:30.
I think it's that flyer might say better because my handwriting. It's 10:30. Kickstands up at 10:30.
10:30.
Yep.
And then we do the ride. Do you know where that ride's going to go?
So last year they left Wilkins, went down 14 to South Royalton to Chelsea, up 113 into what is it, Bradford or whatever, and then up to 302 and back. I think maybe to the roundabout in Montpelier and back to Wilkins.
Okay,
so it's a nice ride.
And then when we return at right around 1:30 or so, we'll have a barbecue.
Mm-hmm. Free barbecue.
Yeah, V-Twin Cruisers of Vermont are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. They do a great job too.
Yeah, they do.
So this benefits Project Hopner.
Yeah.
In the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Vermont chapter. Mm-hmm. Tell me about Project Hopner.
So the Hopner family, I think they're from Burlington, that area, and they lost their son, Paul, a couple years ago to suicide as well. He was a senior in high school.
Okay.
And he did, he did rowing. So they do a lot of, their big fundraiser is a rowing competition up on Lake Champlain in the spring. And they have a website you could check out too if you want.
Do you know what it is?
I think it's just projecthopner.com.
Okay.
I just looked at it yesterday, but I think that's what it is. And they design T-shirts as well and sell them for whatever donation you can make. Last year, so for the Wilkins ride, they will do, I think it says ride on the back. And for the rowing ones, they say something about rowing, and then they'll have their website on there too. So it's just, they adapt them to whatever event it's going to be and just sell them to raise awareness.
Okay. So that's item number 1.
Yep.
And I think we've got that all covered. Again, you and Robert Purvey are the speakers for the Wilkins Ride 50/50 raffle as well.
No, I think you're looking at the next line.
Okay.
It's split 50/50 between those two.
Oh, between
yeah.
American Foundation of Suicide Prevention and Project Hopner.
Right.
Okay. And then on the 25th, and by the way, we're going to be posting this graphic again about this event.
Maybe you'll be riding?
Man, I would love to. That's like perfect. That's like the time to ride.
Last year it
wow.
was so hot. I will be there the whole time with AFSP information, and I like sweltered last year. It
Sure.
was so hot.
What's the cost? What's the
It's by donation.
It's just by donation.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to post that link up again,
Perfect.
but we'll show you what it looks like. And if you're looking at your screen, this is the one to be watching out for on our page. Raylene's probably posting it right now. All right. So that's pretty that's big. There's going to be a good sized turnout for that.
I hope so.
I would believe.
Yeah.
And then what do we have after that? On the 25th, we have this Cornhole Tournament that's locally on East Cobble Hill Road.
Yep.
392 to be exact, East Cobble Hill Road. Starting at 11 o'clock. What's this all about now?
So that is a fundraiser for suicide prevention as well. And you'll have to remind me, John.
Johnny Racer.
Yeah, Johnny Racer and Eric Chase.
Yep.
Will be our sort of sponsoring that, putting it on, and it's at Johnny's house. Because all of the other locations were booked up when they were trying to do it. And they're going to have a wet, dry bounce house, so make sure you bring extra clothes. Registration starts at 10 o'clock, $20 a player.
Yep.
And I don't know a darn thing about cornhole, but there's lots of information on
Yep.
that post about the different types they're going to be doing. They'll have food for sale. I think they're doing a 50-50. Is that right? Did I see that? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Nope, they're not doing a 50-50.
Yeah, and if Johnny Racer's listening, I'm sure he'll be staying in touch with us so that we can continue to bang this drum, because the 25th is going to be here soon.
Oh, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, bring a chair.
A pop-up tent if you want to stay dry.
Yep. Or stay out of the sun or whatever.
Yep.
And a change of clothes.
Yep.
So again,
and they'll have a porta potty on hand, which that is so important. I was missing that the weekend in Williamstown.
Sure. Right. Yes. Yes. Again, $20 per player for the cornhole tournament. That's gonna be a lot of fun. They're gonna do this no matter what Mother Nature's throwing at us too. So please come out and
hopefully.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm sure he will. Knowing him, but this is gonna be great. Maybe we'll get a call into Johnny or Eric Chase the day before this and throw them on the air. And then we have a big silent auction coming up, right?
It's going on right now. Our team, the Stephen Squad team, is doing a fundraiser silent auction on Facebook for the AFSP Out of Darkness Walk.
Okay.
So that started on Saturday. Each week I'm posting 7 to 8 or 9 items.
What's that Facebook page called?
It's Stephen Squad Fundraising.
Okay.
We also have a Stephen Squad page, which is just for like positivity and kindness and suicide awareness information. But we have I have some in the car. But
okay.
So yeah, there's 2 different pages. The Stephen Squad fundraising page is where you will find the auction.
Okay. I just joined that.
Oh, yeah.
I had already joined Stephen's Squad, but now I'm on the fundraising page, and I'm going to drop that link right into the comments right now so that we have that.
Awesome.
And what kind of items do we have here?
This week we have a Sarducci's gift certificate. They donated $200. We have a Lenny's $50 gift certificate. We have a big American flag fleece blanket. I'm trying to think. A planter box, Tractor Supply in New York. One of our team members lives there and works at Tractor Supply. They donated a big planter box. A couple's dating game. You scratch off the card and it tells you where you're going to go on your date.
Date night ideas.
Yep. And a self-care basket. I think it's jasmine scented. It has, lotion and bath bombs and all that stuff in it. Is that 7 things? I don't know. That's what's this week.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of gift certificates coming up. Let me steal your notes. So in the next few weeks, I'm actually going to do 4 more weeks because we've gotten some donations, but we have...
You mentioned the care basket, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This is...
Yeah. Oh, Pampered Chef Rock Crock. It's a big Pampered Chef pan that can do everything.
Yes.
So I'll also mention that we have lots of, Wayside has donated 2 gift cards, Montshire Museum. We've got a photography session coming up. Mr. Z's donated a large pizza. Echo Museum donated a 1-year membership, which is like super generous. Bolton Valley, J Peak, the water park. Mattress Land has a donation I'm going to pick up after I leave here, and then lots of other items as well.
I'm just scrolling through here, and I'm seeing them. They're all fantastic.
It's super exciting.
So this is a virtual.
Yep, it's all on Facebook. I post on Sunday morning. It ends on Saturday night, and you just bid in the comments.
It ends when?
Each Saturday night at 8 p.m.
Every Saturday night.
Yep. So I'll do 7 to 8 items each week.
All right. Saturday night at 8 p.m. You said?
Mm-hmm. And then the following Sunday morning, a whole round of other stuff will go up.
Okay. How has the and I see there you got a ton of videos that you're posting and talking up each of the items here.
Yep.
How is this going? How is bidding going so far?
It's going well. Everything has bids, which I'm always nervous about that. Like, hopefully people will bid on everything. I think this week alone we've got over $300 worth of bidding, so it's gone well. Yeah.
That's great. What are you doing with the proceeds? What are you doing with money that you?
They're going
collect?
right to our the team, the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So it goes right to AFSP. So there's a fundraising page on their website, and we put it right. We electronically transfer it right to that account.
What about these shirts that you're wearing?
So these shirts are if you join a walk or join our team or whatever, AFSP gives you these shirts if you raise $150. This was last year's shirt. This year I think is going to be dark blue. So everyone who joins a walk and raises $150 gets a free shirt.
Okay. I'm just looking at the notes here from Johnny Racer about the Cornhole Tournament. Weather-friendly event with the backup being at the Elks or the Canadian Club. So
I'm thinking since that post, they've discovered both those places have been booked up for that date.
Oh,
I think.
Okay. As I said, we're going to follow up with Johnny Racer. We'll have him on the air. We'll talk about this. We'll even talk about it at the last minute and make sure that we get it communicated out there where this, if there's any last minute changes here. And he says, watch for the tournament on the Score Holio app.
That's what I was thinking. Score Holio.
Yeah. Okay. Not familiar with that.
No, neither am I. But I've
should
never
be.
played cornhole, so.
Yeah. It's a whole religion. I mean, these people that play cornhole. I mean, they just they're a bunch of all of. I mean, they take this stuff seriously.
I can't even figure out how to score. I'm like, how do you know what the score is?
Lily said to me, she's like, Dad, the secret is you have to close your eyes before you throw the bag, which I did. And you saw me playing cornhole over there in Williamstown, and it was horrifically bad.
I'll try that when I practice.
Yeah.
Take Lily's tip.
Again, this is at 392 East Cobble Hill Road in Barrie on Sunday, September 25th. Registration starts at 10. The games will start at 11. I'm seeing here 4 rounds of round robin to a double elimination final. 4-bagger, 50-50, airmail and knockout available.
That sounds intense.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, all these guys are, they live and breathe cornhole. They just love it.
It'll be fun.
What kind of let's talk about let's shift here because you have more stuff on your notes here. The American Foundation of Suicide Prevention has their walk in Burlington.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's almost a month away, the 15th
October
of
15th.
October. Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to be obviously there.
Yep, that's the one our team does. It's the closest to us. I think there are now 6 in the state through the month of September and October. But Burlington was the closest to us when we registered, so this will be our 3rd year doing that. And you just, I don't think I have, do I have the website? I think it's afsp.org.
We'll find out and put it on.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But our team will be there. We have now 19 people on our team, and it's just really amazing. You go up, you get your shirts. They have honor beads. So, whatever your connection is to suicide, I've lost a child, so I wear the white honor beads. They have some for loss of all the different relations you could have. So a child, a sibling, a friend, service member, I believe, all the different things, or just supporting suicide awareness in general. So you get your honor beads, there's speakers, and you do the big walk. It's roughly a 5K. They're not too strict on that. And then come back and it just wraps up. So pretty nice.
Raylene and I were watching a while ago when the Walk to Fight Suicide, Central Vermont Out of the Darkness walk was starting to hit social media.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it, we noticed it, we dropped it on there.
That's brand new this year.
Yeah. Can you tell me about this? This is Saturday, October 29th at the State House lawn in Montpelier, right?
Yep. So that's a brand new location for us, and I'm really excited because obviously Montpelier is a lot closer for us than Burlington. So that's a new walk location, and we're just putting it up, and there is a QR code there, so if people want to register to walk.
Okay.
I think it starts at 10 o'clock, but you'd have to double check the website. We're looking for people to walk, and we're also looking for businesses who may want to sponsor that to support with what I know we have lawn signs, T-shirts. We have to pay for portalets, that sort of thing.
AFSP.org/CentralVT to register or to donate or even to volunteer some of your time. And we've got a lot of information on this, and there's some sponsorship opportunities that are also on this. This American Foundation for Suicide Prevention does, they're not fooling around.
No. And they, so the money that's raised in Vermont for Vermont Walks is supposed to go towards programming in Vermont. So, if you're donating money, it's not going to California or Alaska or wherever. It's supposed to go towards programming here.
Right.
And they do a lot of different trainings. All their trainings are free. They'll come to schools or communities or senior centers. They have a training for like the gun community, people who own gun stores and things like that, just about safety around suicide and that sort of stuff. So
this is startling to me. In 2020, 45,979 Americans died by suicide.
Mm-hmm. Vermont is one of 3 states that the numbers are increasing over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm seeing this right here. On average, one person dies by suicide every 3 days just in our little state of Vermont.
Yeah. Second leading cause of death for our kids, 10 to 22 or something like that in Vermont.
10 to 34 years old.
Is that what it is?
Second leading cause of death.
Mm-hmm. Here in Vermont.
Just in Vermont.
Yeah.
2019. An estimated 1.2 million suicide attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah. That's roughly 25 attempts for every 6, I don't want to call it successful, but completed suicide.
Jeez. I'm just looking at the different sponsorship opportunities for the Central Vermont Out of the Darkness Community Walk. Again, that's on the 29th at the State House Lawn in Montpelier.
Of October 29th.
I'm sorry. Saturday, October 29th. Yes.
They'll get their names on the back of the shirts that all of the walkers get, and some other, depending on the level of sponsorship, different bonuses for that.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about Stephen. He was 14 when he took his life.
Yep. 8th grade at Williamstown Middle High School.
8th grade, Williamstown. Well-known kid in the community. There's a lot of attention that's, admittedly, I think we all know this, that is focused on just Stephen and the story. Well, it was a hard hit for our community.
The kids were just coming home because of COVID. School was just, being shut down, so they're all doing homeschooling and not being able to see their friends. And then this happened, and it was a lot at once within a few weeks' time.
What kind of conversations were you having afterwards? Were there fingers pointed at COVID, loneliness? Did he show any signs? Were there any telltales?
I think there are probably a lot of rumors about different things. I would say, not being able to socialize was a bit of it, probably. We did let him hang out with friends once in a, he'd have a friend over or go to a friend's house.
But this was high tide of concern of COVID. This was when everybody was hunkering down hardcore.
Yeah, we still let him hang out with. I think there were 2 kids that he still got to hang out with. And online all the time, they're always on their video games and stuff like that, which is not the same as in-person socialization at all, of course.
Right.
But he was always doing that. And I think there were some other things that he was struggling with. There was, some bullying a little bit, girlfriend issues, just lots of things. And he was depressed. He had just started talking to us about that. And we were trying medications, but the one we were on just didn't work well. And I guess he couldn't make it to the next appointment to get the switch, unfortunately.
Was he remote learning in school at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was hell.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. It was awful.
I'm guessing he wasn't a big fan of that.
No, not at all. Not a big fan of school anyway.
Yeah.
Hyperactive 14-year-old boy. No.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we've all seen this, the one picture that's on our screen right now.
Yeah.
We've all seen that picture so much. Do you have other kids? Yeah,
our daughter is 20. She's 4 years older than Stephen.
One, that's it.
Yep, just the 2.
How's she doing?
She is trying hard to have a normal life, working a lot, has her own place, has her pets. I think she's doing all right. She has her hard days, but she's really trying hard to just move forward.
And she's right here in Vermont.
Yep.
Does she embrace what you're doing? Does she partake? Does she get involved?
She doesn't. She and my husband are not there yet to do all of this stuff that I'm doing. They are supportive of me though, and check in and participate in the Facebook stuff and things like that. They're just not ready to go out publicly and do the walking. Yeah, they're very supportive. Yeah.
What do you say to moms and dads who are watching or listening who might say what you may have said one day? Oh, not my kid.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, I'm good.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Especially with Steven, because he was so outgoing. Everybody was like, oh, he was the class clown, and he was always making other people laugh and checking in on people. When we looked through his phone, he was messaging people we'd never even heard of about their mental health and trying to be supportive of them. So I think for us, it was like, what? He's always the kid who might get pissed off about something, but take a little space and come back and be like, all right, let's move on. He was so easygoing and looked out for other people, that I think it was shocking for us, what happened in the last 24 hours. So I would say, know the signs. We post them on the Steven Squad page sometimes, just some signs you could look for. Sometimes there aren't any. You're not always going to see stuff, and you're going to kick yourself all the time. Like, what did I miss? But just know the signs. Take your kids seriously if they say life sucks, or I'm not doing well, or they're hiding in their room all the time, or some of the signs are they might be people might be drinking or using substances. So if you notice your kid is sneaking vapes or something like that, it might not just be them being rebellious. They might be struggling with stuff. So
to cope.
Yeah. So it's hard to do I punish them for this? How hard do I push to see if there's something else going on? It's tricky with kids to know what the right step is, but I would say just be in their business all the time. Know what's going on, check in with their friends,
And make sure that they know that even though you're a parent, that you're approachable,
mm-hmm.
and you love them, but you can also maybe take the parent hat off for a little while and speak with them non-judgmentally as a friend.
Yeah.
To say, maybe I don't realize how unhappy you are, and explain that to me, and give them a sense of hope that they can handle whatever it is that they're dealing with,
mm-hmm.
and that the greater scope of things is a fantastic life that's in front of you.
Yeah, definitely keeping communication open. And it can be so hard, with kids all do. Obviously, other people die by suicide. I just focus on kids because it's my kid.
Right.
But there's so much going on. You've got sports and extracurricular stuff, and parents are working a ton. So it's hard, but having that family time, communicating, even eating dinner once or twice a week together, just staying a unified unit with your kids is important. And like you said, talking to them, I'm not happy that you stayed out partying or whatever it may be, but let's talk about this. And I'm not here to,
ground you,
lock you in the closet, beat you, whatever it may be. Yeah. But I want to know what's going on and how can I help? Or making sure that there's somebody else they're comfortable talking with if it's not mom and dad.
Yeah. Spoke with my 18-year-old nephew yesterday, who's into his first week of college away from home and extremely homesick. Hope he's not watching right now. But also trying to cope with the reality of this life shift, mm-hmm. of not only leaving home where he was every day of his life and in the presence of mom and dad, but also the trauma of losing his girlfriend to California.
Yeah.
So, we as adults, it can be very easy for us to say, that's nothing. That's girlfriends come and go, blah, blah, blah. This is nothing, blah, blah, blah. But it's, I remember when I was freshman in college, and my high school girlfriend of 3 years went off to a different world, and I did too. It was really big time. It was hard. It was tough.
Especially all that stuff at one time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It all happens literally in a matter of a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said you got to be patient. You got to take one day at a time. You have to compartmentalize this. You have to, try to stay focused on why you're in college, to learn, to further your education. And stay focused on that. My God, I mean, there's a lot, and it's not just 14 and 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
There's also, I mean, look at we're right in the beginning of September here, and we got a lot of kids that are newbies in college and struggling with that, and others aren't. Others are having a great damn time.
Yeah, we're all different.
We're all different. We all have different stories, different situations, different things that bother us, that get under our skin, bug us, and might be the source of depression or giving us some anxiety. And we all walk around with this fear of a stigma to say I'm depressed, or this or that bothers me, or whatever. We hide this shit real deep.
Yeah. I would also say that, especially for those people who are in college or adults or senior citizens, whoever that doesn't, you don't have parents at home watching over you.
Sure.
Keep 988. Like, put the number on your phone. Put it on your fridge. Like, 988 is the new.
What is that?
Instead of the long 800 number to call if you're in a mental health crisis, it's 988. You can call, you can text, and they're trained support people. It's nationwide now, to just talk you through a crisis, maybe help you come up with a safety plan or figure out who you can call in your community to get more support. So it can be anonymous. You can call for your family member. You don't have to be the person in crisis, and it's just another support that you don't have to say to your mom or your girlfriend or your brother, whatever. I'm struggling. You can call this crisis line and get a little extra support that way too.
Okay, and they can handle anything you throw at them.
Yep, they're trained for mental health and suicide, ideation and that sort of thing. So.
There's a lot of information here. Please know that we're watching this stuff carefully. Mm-hmm. We are aware that it's Suicide Awareness Prevention Month and Week. We're going to have this stuff posted up. We support you. We're going to bang whatever drum you're banging. We're going to help you.
Yes. And
we'll do all we can to combat this here in Central Vermont, to bring awareness to it in Central Vermont, and do it all in memory of Stephen. And we appreciate you. You know that you can come in here any damn time you want to, for any reason.
Love it. Thanks.
Thanks for coming in here today.
Thanks for having me.